Hello, 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 and welcome to this YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester, and I'm sure you are too, because you are consuming content like this. The name of this lovely channel is Holistic Manifesting, because I believe in a whole body, whole mind, and whole being experience. When it comes to manifesting these amazing lives we're choosing to live. What I am discussing in this video is acceptance, and how we hear that term often, and it can be used for a myriad of things. But I like to think of acceptance in three major parts of my life, and kind of almost everything falls under these three major parts, these three major umbrellas, right? So the first part of acceptance that I think about all the time when I think about a situation or a circumstance, and I'm like, practice acceptance, right? Is the current situation. And I think deeply about what part of it can I change and what part of it I cannot change. So when I'm thinking about acceptance and what I currently am in the circumstance I find myself in, it allows me to stop beating myself up or torturing myself for trying to replay it and create something different that didn't happen in the past that would have changed the current environment or the current situation. So in that practicing of acceptance, my thought process goes to, okay, so this is what it is. This is what I'm dealing with. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it. It's where we're at. And then my immediate thought right after that is, what part of this is something that I can change and what part of it is something that I cannot change? And so that kind of shifts my brain into like two main areas. And instead of harping on the areas where things I cannot change and scrambling in that direction over there, and I'm just popping around saying it could have been like this, it could have been like that. Why wasn't it like this? Why didn't we do that? I immediately have compartmentalized and went to the other side and said, what are the aspects of this that I can change? What are the aspects of this that I can make better and I can do something with? And it automatically puts me in more of a solution mindset as opposed to a mindset of regret and feeling like there was something different or something better, or another idea that I should have employed when it's already a done deal. So always think about this when you initially get into the mindset of, okay, I'm in a situation or a circumstance that's uncomfortable. I don't like it. I'm not experiencing joy in this moment. The immediate thought process needs to go to, what part of this is something I cannot change? And then what part of this is something I can change? In my life, I was looking at pictures the other day, and I've been on weight loss journeys many different times, right? I can actually say I don't think I've struggled with weight, but I've had times to where I was like eating all kinds of things. I wasn't exercising. I was stressed out too because of whatever I was dealing with in life and going through. And when you're stressed, your body handles weight completely differently too, because sometimes you can find that you're eating and exercising the same way, but if you're in stress, that weight will stay on you. And when you're out of stress, you'll get to this fitness that you weren't even trying to accomplish. And a lot of people talk about this. And so during this time, I was thinking like, how many times did I get to those places and I was so frustrated with myself and angry with myself because I got on a scale and it didn't say something that I wanted it to say. I remember being in the Goodwill with my daughters when they were very little, and we were playing with the scales because I was just like, maybe I need a scale in my house, but I didn't have one and I didn't really care to have one. But I got on it and it said a high number. It was nearly 200, but I'm a person that weighs heavier. It was, it was close to the if you were rounding off to 200, and I didn't look like it. It's like I didn't seem like I carried that, and I'm not short, so that always impacts it. And I was like, why am I so, and I'm kind of muscular, so that always impacts it too. But it was just way higher than what I ever wanted it to be, and I thought something was wrong with it. And I was like, well, this one must be broken, and I was not kidding. And I told my daughter, I was like, hand me that one, and I did 3 of them, and they all said the same number, like 1 or 2 pound difference. And I was thinking about how mad I was with myself that day and angry. And had I been in the space where I was a little bit more awakened and I could practice this mindset of what can I change today and what can I not change? The only thing that I was doing that day was mulling over like all of the bad food that I had been eating and how many times that I went in the store and I bought bigger clothing and just thinking that, oh, it's not that much bigger and stuff. Like I was just going over and over and over about the things that I could not change anymore. What you cannot change is what's on this scale today. Today, it's not going to change, right? But what you can change is going forward. How do you want to eat? How do you want to feel? What websites and what blogs are you going to get on so you can find out about how stress impacts weight gain? Like, what can you do from this day forward? How can you be more active in that sense, right? And so that's one of the main things when it comes to acceptance. If I stayed in a place of, I'm so angry about this not working out, it's just going to create more stress and it's going to create more anxiety around losing weight. And I've seen it even with myself and other people. You'll get on this hardcore, nothing in the house, no sweets, no this and that, and you start ripping everything out. And then you might manage that for a day or two, and then you fall off the wagon almost instantly because you haven't truly accepted where you are. This is the road you're on. This is where you're at. The second one is accepting yourself and others as is. Now, this comes to like personality traits and like who people are at their core. A lot of us have family and friends that have been around us forever, right? A lot of it sometimes is our parents too. We think about their personality traits and like who they are. And I've met so many people who struggle with allowing people to be who they are. They want to change them. They want to break down their personality traits and kind of make them something different. And by not accepting people for who they truly are, the person has more impact on us. They have more negative energy towards us because we're always looking at them as something that needs to change, that needs to be different from who they are, that as is, they're not good enough. And I can honestly say that I've seen this a lot in parent-child relationships. Even people that I've met in my past a long time ago that had strong issues and did no contact and stuff like that with parents at different times. And through this process, I can look back in hindsight and say now that they were truly hurting more because they wanted their parent to be something different from what they actually were. And in that process of wanting them to be something different from what they actually were, they were inflicting more pain upon themselves for not accepting who their parents were. And in not accepting it, the parent has more influence over them in a negative way than what they would have if you just accepted them as they were. I've worked on this plenty in my life a lot, and there's plenty of people around that I can think of where I no longer look at their personalities or who they are as somebody to fix or change. I just have like boundaries up. And if it's something that I can do within my boundaries or something that I can participate that's within my boundaries, I'll do it. But if it's not something within my boundaries, I no longer do it. And if that's going to ruin a relationship or kill it, or, you know, they may stump around or something and they may not like it, I'm perfectly okay with that. But me sitting there saying, why would they ask me this? Why would they want me to do this? Why are they treating me like this? Why are they acting this way towards me? Is a waste of my time and energy because I have nothing to do with that. How they act towards me, how they treat me, how they feel about me, it's all on them. So for me to sit there and stump around and think I need to change the way that they see me, change the way that they operate, is me wasting my time and energy. And I want you to feel the same way too. When you get into the mode of accepting others as is, it's so less painful. And this can be with good friends you've been having forever. You can be in the workplace, especially too. There are plenty of places I can think back now to. I should have just accepted these people for who they were. I should have just accepted this person for who they were. And if I would have done that instead of thinking like your personality is all wrong, because that's what we're ultimately saying. We're saying that the person's personality is just all wrong. And if someone else can have a positive experience with this person, but we're having a negative one with them, that means that their personality is not all wrong. It just means that something in us is clashing with them. And we have to take our own power back and say, hey, I don't want to be subjective to your personality traits or what's going on with you because of the way it's affecting me. And in that mindset, we can say, I'm going to let you be you and then I'll be me. And the funny thing about that is that when you do that, you'll find that it's easier to be around people and you don't even have to separate from them as much as you thought you wanted to. Unless they're really bringing negative energy and they have this bad karma around them and they have poor frequency, you won't even be in the same place if it's that bad, right? You won't even be in the same environment. If you're on the right frequency, you'll set up lunch dates with these people, you'll set up events and all this, and it won't even work out. And it'll be something that's right beyond your control of it not working out. And you're like, dang, I really wanted to do that, but it just didn't work out the way that I thought it was going to work out. I had a plan and that plan didn't play out. And I don't know what happened, but the universe will sabotage plans when you are not on the same frequency as a person or a place or a thing. But you'll find that when this person is just, not your flavor, their attitude and energy is a little bit off, and you find yourself in the same environment with them, they're not bad people. It's just that you have to learn to say, this person as is, I accept them, because ultimately that's what we want from other people. We want to be accepted as is from other people. We don't want people to give us the cold shoulder or to treat us a certain way because we didn't perform exactly the way they wanted us to perform, right? So accepting yourself and others as is a huge aspect of acceptance. And when I say yourself, that means that beating up on yourself because you're not a particular way, or you don't have particular traits, or you can't stop doing something, a habit or a pattern or something, because it doesn't get you closer to creating the life that you choose. You have to say, this is who I am as is, right? And then from there, how can I build upon these personality traits that I have, this mindset that I have, like this person that I am already? How can I improve that rather than just trying to pretend or be something completely different? And I've seen people do this. They never get what they want. They never truly experience the life that they want, because people that are real, the people that are tapped in and tuned in, they can tell when you are just completely being somebody that you are not. And you're never going to get the closeness and the relationships that you want to create over time when you are literally not accepting yourself as is. And then the last one I have here is accepting your power as a co-creator. A lot of times we get into this victim mode and victim mentality when it comes to our life, or either we get in a very passive mindset. And I don't think anything is wrong with being relaxed in our mindsets, but being passive is a different thing. Being passive is saying that I do have the power to control this thing. I do have the power to make a different decision today, but I'm not going to use my power to do that. A lot of people like to say these things like, if this was something that was supposed to happen in your life, then it would have. And that's true to some degree in a lot of places. But I feel like we never pay enough homage to the power that the Creator has put inside of us to make decisions, and those decisions and those attitudes and energies that we give create a different outcome for us. So think about getting up, and if you make a decision to, like, it's raining, it's pouring down outside right now, right? If I made a decision to step outside the door, I'm making a decision to be soaking wet. If I make a decision to stay behind the door and keep it shut and look out the window, I'm making a decision to be dry. Now, can we say, we're going to sit here and say, well, if it's for me to be in this rain, then it would be for me. Then no, that's not how we're going to look at it. When we accept fully that we have so much innate power, it's like life becomes this amazing, fun game that we're playing. And we start to see everything for what it is. We start to see people, places, and things for what they are. We start to be able to truly enjoy and experience people on different levels. We can even come to the place where we have such a strong and good imagination that people are nowhere in our vicinity, and we can have full-fledged conversations with them. We can create a world that possibly didn't even exist before that. And then if we're so good at this, we'll even have dreams that complement it. So even our subconscious mind is creating this joy and wonderment that we want to experience in this world. But if we never step into the accepting our power as a co-creator, then we're always a victim to whatever's happening in the world. We're always getting the short end of the stick. We're always on the receiving end of, well, this is just good enough. This is just enough, right? We're always on the receiving end of, all these things are working perfect in my life, but this other thing is not in order yet, right? And we've seen that in our own existence many times, so we already know. But if we accept our power that we've been given at birth, when we came into this world, if we accept that power as a co-creator, then that means that yes, when things don't work out, we have to get comfortable with the disappointment and be okay with it. But it's like when things do work out and we do see headway and we do see things change and we do see a rewiring of our brain, then we know that it's because, man, I am a powerful co-creator in this world. I'm not going to be a passive person. I'm not going to be a victim in this experience. I'm going to look at the inherent power that I've been given and saying, hey, How can I make my life better? How can I make the lives better of those around me? How can I inspire and motivate people around me? How can I live a more abundant life? How can I create a life for my children to where they have more abundance? How can I be more free? How can I be more peaceful? How can I find more contentment on a regular basis? How can I have a healthy body? How can I keep this avatar up to par? Your mind is always going to be in that direction because you realize that you weren't sent here to just kind of sit and take what was given to you. You were sent here in this experience to experience things. And because of that, accepting that you are a powerful co-creator in this process can like level up your life in a way that you haven't even imagined if you were sitting back passively saying, well, this is my lot in life and then this is just what I get, right? So anyway, those are my 3 tiers, and it went on a little bit longer than what I wanted it to, but it's okay. My 3 tiers to acceptance in this life is accepting the current situation and where you're at and thinking about what you can change and what you cannot change and separating those things so that you can get into a solution-based mindset. And then another part is accepting yourself and your personality traits and who you are and accepting others as is, not walking around thinking that there's something broken inside of you all the time, and then not also thinking that there's something broken inside of other people. And then the last but not least, the one I just explained, is just your power as a co-creator, realizing that when you don't accept that role, then it'll be taken over by all the minutia that's happening in life. But when you stand in that power of accepting that you are that co-creator, your life can be something that you never even truly imagined it can be. And then you'll be a benefit and a blessing to everybody around you, whether they know it or not, and whether you even know it or not. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.